Good morning. It's me, Pearl, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we're about to take a look at the energetic balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine inside of ourselves, understanding that whatever state we find these energies in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our outside world. So, if we want to see changes in the people around us, in our environment, in our job, um, manifest things in our lives, healthy relationships, etc., we have to go within and shift our own energy to see that transpire outside of ourselves. Okay. Um, hmm. Both sides have three cards showing, so I guess I touched divine masculines first, so I'm gonna do that one first, I guess. A lot of reversals up in here. All right. And overthinking. Okay. He just likes to put me through my paces. Okay, top of the deck, overall headspace for the divine masculine. We have the King of Pentacles in its reversal. So, the thing that's most on his mind, we saw the King of Pentacles, it was yesterday or the day before. I'm not really sure now. But it was upright, and it was actually a sense that he was finally feeling his worthiness energy, his masculine worth energy. And so I don't think that we've had that quick of a reversal in his feeling of this foundation. So I think what we're looking at is a reflection upon the shadow traits of the King of Pentacles, which would include a tendency to hoard wealth and emotions. It's kind of got that Nine of Cups, greedy, hoarding kind of a quality to it. Being overprotective to the point where you're protecting yourself too much, or you're in a controlling role because you feel only you are capable of, like protecting the union or protecting divine feminine or whatever. An attachment to the material, um, a certain amount of external validation that comes from being a man of the world. And I think it's also just him reflecting upon the fact that he hasn't yet become physical uh, for the union, that he's still in the energy of the 5D, and he's not here in this union presenting himself to divine feminine. So he's like kind of going within and looking at that energy. But I don't see this as him feeling a lack of worth this time. I really just feel like it's more his ideas about his worthiness. He's reflecting upon it's something that has been holding him back. And the niggling thing in the back of the mind is he hasn't really been seeing clearly. He hasn't been being honest with himself and with divine feminine, but mostly with himself about the truth behind the shadows he carries in this King of Pentacles in reverse energy. That he's also wanting to bring in this truth and directness and holding himself back with that hoarding energy that happens in that King of Pentacles. So he's reflecting upon this right now, about this uncomfortable relationship he has with seeing the truth, speaking the truth, facing the truth. It's not easy for him to admit. But then we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse is the first thing in his mind. So, and this is where the reversals begin and they barely end. And it's impatience. He's impatient. I think the King of Pentacles energy in reverse is also impatient, because the King of Pentacles also has a fixed kind of an energy in the way that the Emperor does, where it's hard to distinguish for the King of Pentacles the throne from the earth in the OG Smith Waite imagery. So there's that fixed quality about the King of Pentacles. When we're seeing it reverse, this is like him ready to step up and move. So we have an impatience with himself about the shadow traits he's reflecting upon, impatience that he's not being clear and direct. And because of this impatience, a readiness. There's the Knight of Pentacles. If you were at the Sunday reading yesterday, if you were there, you saw the Knight of Pentacles because he made another appearance. But here he is, and we call it the Prince of Pentacles here for the Cosmic Tarot. But the slowest moving knight in the deck. But we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is a stuck energy. The Knight of Pentacles, which is a very slow moving energy, but it is a movement. It's a motion forward. It's a methodical plodding forward. I got that phrasing from the Fountain deck description of the Knight, and I love that. Methodical plodding, because it's just careful and cautious, because it doesn't want to make any mistakes or have any imperfections. And he's impatient with himself for this energy. He just wants to rush in. But there's no knights with swords or wands in this spread. So there's an intention here not to fumble this, just to go very carefully, but being very impatient with himself for needing to do that, for being such a perfectionist and having to still try to maintain so much control over what's happening. And then we have the Star reversed. So again, with the reversals. The Star in its upright position has that healing energy. It's about divine feminine pouring from the unconscious into the material. It's about illumination, coming out of the darkness, seeing the light, being led to, in the tradition, in the Catholic tradition or Christian tradition, being led to Christ, the wise men following the stars. It's about astrology. It's about the cosmos. And it's about hopefulness and wishes, making a wish upon a star, right? And for divine masculine, his divine feminine has been his wish. These are here. And he's also been relying upon her healing for a long time to get by as well. So he's reflecting, since this is headspace, he's reflecting upon having done that, having sort of focused on this divine feminine, but seeing how he's always coming from this place of darkness and she's the light. And his wish is that they will finally be able to be in physical union here on the planet Earth in 3D. And so there's the element of that wish that has been made coming down and touching down to the earth. And just not wanting to lose hope, really holding on to hope that even though he's moved so slowly, taken so long, even though he's hoarded these feelings and emotions, he's holding on to the hope that he can experience a victory, because we have the Six of Wands energy here. So really, really clinging to that hope. I've gone so slowly. I haven't told the truth. I have been afraid of the people's perceptions of me. I've all these things, and he's hoping that he'll still receive his wish, that divine feminine won't have walked away or lost interest, or, be at a point where she can't. I don't know why I can't talk today. Reconcile. So he's really holding on to the hope that he will achieve this victory. And the victory is, as these fruits have come to bear from the Seven of Pentacles, the seeds that have been planted, that what he was waiting for is finally bringing him this victory that he's seeking. Over the Empress. She's in reverse, though. She's in reverse because the Knight of Pentacles in reverse she's clarifying, which is like, he's taken so long, his fears about her receiving him are really kind of holding him back right now. Like, before there was a lot of obstacles, and then he realized, oh, I'm creating the obstacles. My bad. And so I need to go heal the wounds that are causing me to create these obstacles. And so he separated himself to be able to do that. Now the obstacles have been cleared, or at least the real world obstacles are starting to fall away, because he's realizing the relationship between his own thoughts and the opportunity for him to attract experiences that will prevent him from getting what he wants in order to protect him from something he's afraid of receiving. So he's finally understanding this process. And he has to face now that there aren't the real world obstacles that he had constructed. Those things aren't really preventing him. What's really preventing him is going within and healing, not doing that healing work of the star card, right? And he needs to do that in order to achieve victory. The Empress in reverse can also be about getting up and moving, because like the Emperor, the Empress is fixed, and she of course is very much part of the earth, and there is a fixed energy. So to get her in reverse also with the Seven of Pentacles, and she's clarifying the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, there's an energy here of like, it's time to get up and take a step towards this divine feminine, to try to salvage what was lost in this process of having to go within and do this healing work and go into separation. And then we have overthinking. The first thing we have is the Five of Swords in reverse. And this is a Five of Swords where the individual, normally in the Five of Swords, you see this someone with swords walking away from a battle of some kind. And it is a card about being in a battle. But in the Cosmic Tarot, we see that this pentacle has been inscribed in the sand, and he's laying flat down inside of it, which is a protective thing to do. And there are these swords all around him. So it's like he's completely defeated, but he's accepting defeat for the purpose of protecting himself. To see this come up in reverse is he's no longer willing to accept defeat just to protect himself. There's also like a lay down and die energy in that kind of defeat, but you're doing it to protect others, right? You're sacrificing yourself for others. There's an element there. He's no longer willing to sacrifice his own needs and his own safety for others. And when it's about safety, it's not necessarily about safety of the body, though it could be, but it's really more about like his mental health and well-being. Like it doesn't serve him to stay in this place where he wants something that he can't have. So he's holding on to that hope, because this is clarifying the star in reverse. And he's not willing to accept defeat. He's remaining hopeful as he can, that he will be able to come into sacred union. This is our Four of Wands, which of course has this 11-11 pattern in it and reminds us of the twin flame journey. In this Four of Wands, the divine feminine is perfectly balanced on her toe. She's able to, this takes much core strength, and there's stability in her that allows her to do this balancing. And the divine masculine is not willing to accept defeat. He's not going to allow to lose this opportunity to have this sacred union with divine feminine. He's determined by that Five of Swords in reverse. He's determined to right the wrongs, reestablish this foundation, and come in the Six of Cups energy into this reunion with the divine feminine. This is what he's holding out hope for, that the destabilizing that has gone on between them, that he can make that right again. And then let's look at his heart space. Top of the deck overall, feeling of the heart space. The Two of Cups. I love this Two of Cups from the Prisma Visions deck. Okay, the cards have fallen down on the floor today at least twice already. Why? Okay, don't understand. Two of Cups. This imagery from the Prisma Visions has this couple with their cups immersed in all of this water here, which is of course associated with the emotions and with feelings, and they're deeply immersed in it, but they're able to tread water together in these emotions. And it's like they're immersing themselves in their feelings for each other. There's earth here, and these roots, like this extension, like this is going to grow from their love, but they're going to have this legacy grow between them. So his heart space is really feeling the real world physical interaction, like wanting to come in and break bread and exchange these feelings that they've had and finally express them, and feeling confident that they can withstand those emotions, that they can handle it. The niggling thing in the back of the heart, the bottom of the deck, is the 9 of Wands. And it's in reverse because this divine masculine has been doing this hardcore. There's been a lot of healing. There's been isolation. There's been searching, like a searching energy. There's been deep wounds that have been being stitched up, and just a deep healing that's taking place to allow for this 2 of Cups that he wants to bring in. Okay. If you didn't get a chance to see the live reading with Grace Drag on Sundays, I do a live reading on Instagram at noon Pacific Coast time and 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Grace Draga. And she takes one energy and I take the other. We read head and heart, and then we just are amazed at the number of synchronicities between the reading. But we had this individual in the reading, but yesterday this King of Wands was in reverse, and today he's upright, and he's clarifying this 7 of Pentacles in reverse, and the impatience matches the impatience, because the King of Wands, if he has a shadow trait, he's pretty impatient. He's like not the one that's gonna do the like war strategy where they just form a siege and just wait it out. They starve out the other army and then they finally have to surrender because they have no food left and they ate all the rats, No, this is not a king that's going to be like chill doing that. He's going to be like, burn him out. Like, I don't, just find a way. Like, we're not waiting around. I have other kingdoms to conquer. So there's definitely an impatience that comes with this kind of King of Wands energy. And a lot of passion. And this is a communicator and a man of action, right? We've got King of Pentacles, man of the world. King of Wands is a man of action. And he's ready. Because that 7 of Pentacles in reverse is like, I'm ready. I'm ready to take action. I'm impatient. It's time. Come on now. Then we have the Emperor in reverse, and it is directly above the Empress in reverse. So there's our matched pair. And the reversal on them is interesting because that same energy that I reflected upon with the Empress in reverse, where it's about that fixed energy finally kind of getting up and moving because they're very rigid and fixed. The same thing is happening in the heart space with this Emperor energy. We have that ram, that stubborn rigidity that comes with the Emperor, right? And we're seeing that a release of the controlling rigidity. And because he's able to release this will allow him to finally move forward at a much faster pace, because this slow moving energy is all about the Emperor. Because the Knight of Pentacles is coming at you not fast. He's coming at you really, really slowly. And he's doing that because he's coming from this very cautious foundation that the Emperor has established. It's heavy, it's weighty, it's worth waiting for, but it's controlled. Remember, plotting and methodical? The methodical part comes from the Emperor. It's like each detail has to be planned out, and he's realizing how much this energy that he has, this need to control every element, is really, really, really not serving him. So he's releasing this energy. We then have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. and it's clarifying the Star card in reverse. And so this is really, really validating my feeling I had when this had something to do with the divine feminine doing the healing work. Divine masculine acknowledging that he's not been working with the divine feminine. He's been allowing divine feminine to be on her own and heal her wounds, and he's been taking his inspiration from her and following in her lead. But she's alone. She's alone in the dark, having to find her own light, and he's been focusing on her as his light and not working with her. And he wants to change this. He wants to shift into this energy. He's holding on to the hope that they're going to be able to work together and collaborate, that he's going to have this victory that he was thinking about on this twin flame journey, because we have here the Two of Wands. So again, another card in its reversal that when we see it reverse indicates impatience, and this in it's a need to know also, because this card, there's a comfort with not knowing what's going to happen. There's a trust and a faith that comes from having asked and waiting for it to be given. And there's an impatience here about this victory. He's really wanting to be able to work together with this divine feminine to be able to have victory with her. He's impatient with this slow moving energy that has happened because he's been so controlling. There's something else that's like on the tip of my tongue. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Yes, the other element to this is resisting working on the self, or being completely done working on the self. So those two alternate readings of that card make me think, followed by that Two of Wands too, that there's an element here of he has done the work on himself that he needed to do and accomplished the things that he needed to do on this twin flame journey, and it's now time. The Empress is being clarified by the the Four of Cups upright. So interesting. Because there's all these other cards in his spread that indicate time, like readiness and impatience, it's interesting to then see his heart space bringing us a card that's about being paused in meditation, reflection, and contemplation. It's also about fantasy. And so I think that's what we're seeing here. Because this Empress is in reverse, and this is where this card is coming out. I think it has to do with releasing fantasies he has about the way things should be, because this is in the role with the Emperor and the Knight of Pentacles, the methodical energy. So he's done these things. He's moved in these specific ways. He's tried to control these elements because of the fantasy he has about the fantasies he's had and how he's wanted to bring these fantasies to life for this divine feminine. He's had all these dreams. I want to give her this, and I want to give her that, and I want to take her here and there, and I want to get this kind of ring for her, and I want to give it to her in this place, and I want these people to be there, and I want to create these things to, like, he wants to make things to give to her. And there's all these like pieces, because this is the kind of energy that this Emperor has. So this fantasy of what he's wanted to give the divine feminine, that he's realizing has slowed him down. It's made him control. And then he's also understanding that the only reason that he's wanted to give all of these things is because it literally slows him down from receiving the thing he's afraid of having, or afraid of being rejected by. If he's worried that he can't approach this Empress, that she's not going to welcome him, he's basically using all of this like planning and strategizing and fantasizing about what things are going to be like, to slow himself down from experiencing a rejection or not living up to the Queen of Cups. Here's her energy. There's overthinking going on, and it's a really interesting overthinking card. So we have this Queen of Cups in her reversal. He's feeling very overwhelmed and emotionally reactive at the moment. He's also reflecting in his heart space. He's feeling in his heart space how he wants to be with this Queen of Cups. She's not here yet. There's been these battles between them. He's caused her pain. He's caused her to go into emotional reactivity. His fantasies about who she is and what she can handle and all these kind of things, it's all messed up. It's all like caused this destabilization of the sacred union. And he's trying to reflect upon the past, but what really happened, not what he's fantasized or the stories he's written about what has happened, but the truth about what has happened, which he's having a hard time seeing, right? With that Ace of Swords and its reversal. And the final card is from the Prisma Visions deck. It's an additional major arcana energy, and it's called the Reverie card. And it has a question mark on it. And it shows an individual serenading someone in this boat in this beautiful place. And a reverie is like creating this moment, like in your mind, kind of fantasizing about a scene like this, or being lost in a reverie, playful energy, playing, being with the divine feminine in this fantasy world that they've created. This is where we're ending the feelings in his heart space with this question. It's the thing that it's the deepest fear he has, which is, did I make this all up? This fantasy of what this person is like, and will I find out or she find out that it's nothing like we dreamed or imagined? And then will I lose her because of that? Or will I not be able to handle the love that comes from her like this? This is what I fantasized. This is what I dreamed about, but I'm confused, right? I don't know if I'm ready for a love like this because it's so intense. So this is the fear that Divine Masculine is dealing with. Okay, Divine Feminine. This is a longer reading than I anticipated. Oh my God. It's just so dumb. It's just dumb. Okay, top of the deck for Divine Feminine overall headspace for you, babes. We got Six of Swords in reverse, and I think it is crazy that this card is on the top of this deck because, first of all, it came up yesterday. It came up a bunch of times, and it was in its reversal. And then I heard a reading this morning as I was getting ready, and it mentioned, or maybe last night, and it mentioned the Six of Swords in reverse, and that's what happened. Last night I saw it, and I was like, oh my God, there's a Six of Swords in reverse again. And when it came on last night, she said, the reader that I was watching said something, it was Soul Whispers Tarot. She said something about the Six of Swords I hadn't thought of before. Or I had thought of it, but she like phrased it in a way I liked it, which was just the discomfort with uncertainty or something like that. And that was such a theme yesterday. And then this morning I thought, well, if the Six of Swords in reverse comes up, I'll be able to say it's definitely right now about the energy of a discomfort with uncertainty. Well, it's the forefront of Divine Feminine's mind. There's a lot of uncertainty here. There's an idea, and this is, for me, this is also a card similar to the Hierophant. It's like the minor arcana version of the Hierophant in terms of it being about lessons learned, that element. So there's a few different layers, but primarily Divine Feminine has an understanding that the strife and struggle she's experienced are part of her learning these lessons that help her to get from where she is to where she wants to be. But right now, even though she understands intellectually the lessons that she's supposed to be learning on this journey, she's having trouble making a choice. And because of this indecision, she's in a place where her future is very uncertain and she's not that comfortable. She's got an experience of discomfort, fear, not really digging being in this state of uncertainty. And this is making her feel like it's difficult to focus on herself a little bit because she's uncertain about where she wants to go. And then we have the niggling thing in the back of her mind is the star. So we've got mirrored energy with divine masculine, so union. The star energy for divine feminine being upright is her being very conscious. Underlying everything she's thinking about is this is a time of healing. I am figuring out, getting clarity, getting illumination about what it is that I want to manifest and bring into the 3D. And I'm handling this uncertainty and this discomfort with this uncertainty by trusting in my healing process and by understanding that I need to reveal myself completely, my authentic self. I need to be fully illuminated. I need to shine and not be hidden, even though I don't know where I'm going. That's forefront and back of the mind. Consequently, the first thing on her mind is this Nine of Pentacles energy. I did a reading last night with a friend on the phone. I pulled just divine feminine side because of the conversation we were having. And 3 of the cards that came up last night came out here in the spread. So it's interesting. This energy was here even last night, but this was in reverse last night. And it was clarified by head and heart. The 9 of Pentacles came out for the heart as well. And we were both like shocked because it was in the same position. And it was one of those things that keeps happening in my readings. It's something that just started happening recently, but happens a lot where my head and heart cards in the same place in the spread are in union. So she's single and fabulous in this 9 of Pentacles energy. There's definitely an element here. There's independence. There's having achieved with the 8 of Pentacles energy a certain amount of mastery in a craft that has allowed you to start attracting abundance because of your reflection of your authentic self. And so she's got a sense that her worthiness energy that she's been focusing on and building up has allowed her to be able to finally experience and indulge herself. She can indulge. Like, I just bought myself like a really nice green satin robe that I feel like Lucy from I Love Lucy would have worn. Like, I don't know, it's got her vibes, but it's like really elegant though. Do you know how she was Lucy was so interesting because she was goofy and like hilarious, but she was so glamorous. She had she was beautiful. She just looked incredible in every single shot of her, even when she was looking ridiculous, she just looked incredible. Who looks better stuffing their mouth full of candies than her? But I bought myself like a robe and like satin teddy, like things I've never bought, just luxurious things that I've wanted and not allowed myself because I didn't feel worthiness, I guess. I also didn't see that modeled either, like the women in my grandmother was pretty glamorous, but my mother she always looks beautiful and amazing, but she didn't let herself she didn't indulge like that. And so this really resonates with me. This is a divine feminine who's starting to value herself and she's getting her hair done. She's she's going into her feminine energy and being in her independence. And then this was one of the other cards that came up last night, the Hanged Man. So she's surrendering and getting perspective on the next card that's haunting her a little bit. And we'll get into that. But there's also an energy here of her being suspended in time, in limbo. That's what this discomfort is. She's uncomfortable with the uncertainty of this suspension, not really knowing what's happening. It's like this hush feeling, like not knowing what's coming after that. She's just there. So that's in this card. She's also surrendering to the divine for the healing process of the star because of the devil energy. So obsessive thinking. This came up in Grace Drago reading yesterday. That's why all these cards are very poignant to me. She's not wanting to be obsessed. She's not wanting to be single-mindedly focused on how long this is taking. That's the main thing, because the next card is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Yes, that is exactly what that card is. No shit. So yeah. She's surrendering. Hanged Man energy always makes me think of the game. You make these guesses. If you guess incorrectly, you fucked, right? And I feel she kind of has this energy of like, I've been guessing and guessing and guessing and guessing, trying to figure it out, assuming, making all these choices. And in that, with that devil energy of like obsessively, is he thinking this? Is he doing this? Is this why he's doing this? Is he doing this because of this? Is this? Am I going to do that? Is he going to do that? It's like guessing. And Divine Masculine, each time you've made a guess, Divine Masculine has been like, nope. And you're like, what the fuck word am I spelling? Like, there's only so many fucking letters in the goddamn alphabet. And before you can figure out the answer, it's like, you've hanged yourself. There's no more choices. There's no more assumptions to be made. So there's that's presenting itself to me when I look at the Hanged Man energy in connection with the devil energy. And then we've got this Knight of Pentacles, clarifying Divine Masculine's Knight of Pentacles, or not clarifying, but in union with Divine Masculine's Knight of Pentacles in reverse, which is an energy of, God, this is taking so long, how long, and a readiness, like it, like Divine Feminine is just ready. She's been doing the same thing, methodically plotting forward, but she's ready to be fully realized in the star energy. She's ready to shine in that Nine of Pentacles energy. She's ready to be shown to others this way too by the Divine Masculine. But that devil energy is in regards to how slowly this offer is coming, and her back and forth wondering, do I wait for it? Is it worth waiting for? I want to wait for it, but I'm afraid that I'm like made it up and it's not really happening. And then I'm going to wait and find out that I just made it up and my whole life passed. Because she's like, if I knew for sure, and my person was like, I need you to wait this amount of time, I would be like, sure. But because I don't know, I'm afraid that I'm just allowing this to be the thing that's keeping me from receiving love. Like my focus on this specific iteration, right? My obsession or infatuation or my codependent partnership or whatever it is that I am clinging to, that I need perspective on, because I'm so afraid, right? And that's what the devil energy is about: fear, ego. I am so afraid that I'm going to wait for this Knight of Pentacles. And I was wrong. He wasn't coming towards me. This wasn't my offer. And I misinterpreted everything. What if I do that? There's a lot of fear there. What if I do that? But the Divine Feminine is strong. There's the Queen of Cups, mirroring Divine Masculine Queen of Cups, because they're so in union right now. And again, just like the Two of Cups, where we saw the two individuals immersed in their emotions and doing fine, she's treading her emotions effortlessly. I don't know if it's because I'm more buoyant than everyone else, but I do not have to tread water. Like, I watch everyone else struggling to keep above water, and I'm literally just like sitting there. Like, I will not sink at all. Will not. So for me, physically in 3D, when I see this card, I know this feeling of perfect comfort, not being afraid you're going to drown at all. It would be, somebody would have to hold me under. There's no way. I just don't have, I have complete buoyancy in the water. And I was on the swim team, and I was a mermaid when I was little. We had like an above ground 4-foot pool in the backyard, Northern New York style. And it was my favorite place. I am confident in the water. This Queen of Cups is confident in her emotions and her feelings. She's afraid. What if I wait for this and I miss something good because I convinced myself I obsessively that this one iteration was right, and then I waited for him and I was wrong. What if I do that? So she's got that fear. But because she surrendered to the divine and just accepted the suspension, this moment, this not knowing, it's uncomfortable. 6 of Swords energy. It's not comfy cozy in here, but it's going to be okay, kind of a thing. She's able to handle this emotional reactivity to her fears and stay in the Queen of Swords energy. Stay in her intellect, in her clarity, in her truth, in her integrity. She's protecting herself from these fears, though. Her strategy for the devil is, I'm gonna fucking kill it. She's not getting anywhere near me. So that energy of like, no, stay back. I can't. You have to remember that you're carrying that into the thing that you're wanting to manifest. If you're afraid of what you want to manifest, or you're afraid it's taking too long, or you're going to miss it, or you're not going to be able to enjoy it, you have to be careful of that energy, that tendency to guard yourself. Okay. Heart space for Divine Feminine. Top of the deck, Page of Wands. She's excited. She's very excited. There's this sweet new energy. This card came out yesterday in the reading with Grace Strega. There's this sweetness to this energy. This like, I'm so excited. And it's clarifying this uncertainty. So despite her discomfort with the uncertainty, she feels excitement. She feels a new potential energy that's coming. But the niggling feeling is the Fool in reverse. So she doesn't want to be foolish. She doesn't want to let this like excitement propel her into any behaviors that won't serve her, because she just lets her feeling of excitement get away with her, and she just, isn't cautious, and she wants to remain cautious and go carefully, tread carefully with this new beginning, because she feels the new beginning here, but she doesn't want to fumble it. She wants to tread carefully. She doesn't want to lose herself off that cliff. We have the 7 of Cups in reverse, clarifying the 9 of Pentacles upright. So the 7 of Cups is a card about confusion. It's about options, having a lot of options. It can be about hiding the truth from yourself. It can be about being lost in fantasies. And it's about not really being able to make a choice, kind of a thing. Divine Feminine isn't confused. She's choosing herself. She is choosing herself, understanding that as she chooses herself, a matching energy will also choose her. And to emphasize, a choice has been made. We have the 2 of Pentacles in its reversal. So there was a back and forth energy here. There was an imbalanced energy. There was a need to make a decision, and the decision has been made. And it's in regards to that Hanged Man energy. The decision was to go within, surrender to the divine, ask for perspective. She received the perspective, when she chose herself. So what we're looking at is her heart's reflecting upon what happened. When she chose herself in that 9 of Pentacles energy, she surrendered to the divine. She said, okay, I want to love myself. I want to attract somebody who loves me the way that I love myself. So I'm surrendering to this truth, and I'm going to go within and do what I need to do to receive this perspective I need. So I'm choosing to do that. The perspective she received when she did that is this 8 of Cups, which came out 4 times yesterday. So 8 of Cups. She received perspective from the divine, which was, you must walk away from what is not serving you towards your higher calling. Your higher calling has to do with intuition, psychic, light work, healing, that putting you in alignment with your soul purpose, your truths. And you have to leave some good things and some bad things behind. But all those choices that weren't made in that Seven of Cups, they built up here. They formed a wall that prevented you from going forward because you weren't making a choice. So the perspective that is gained is that you must walk away from what doesn't serve you. Holy shit. Hanged man again. Which means the Hanged Man is on either side of the Eight of Cups. We had the Hanged Man in the headspace on one side of the Eight of Cups, and now on the other side of the Eight of Cups, we have the Hanged Man again. So walking away from what doesn't serve us, remaining in this place of surrender to the time, how long it's taking. Knight of Pentacles. Just surrender to how long it's taking. Surrender to that methodical plodding forward, because that energy is shifting. As we've walked away from what doesn't serve us, we've gained perspective. So we went within to get perspective about what we should do. We found out we need to walk away from attachments, material attachments to things that are hurting us, that don't serve us. We need to fill our own cups. We need, et cetera, et cetera. That's the perspective that was gained. King of Swords upright. Clarifying the Queen of Cups, and next to the Queen of Swords. So we have the matched divine masculine and feminine energy there. And the King of Swords is about divine feminine experiencing a divine masculine energy that's in his integrity, in his truth, being clear, being direct. This is her heart's desire. She wants to give herself this same respect. And she wants to balance it with the Queen of Cups energy, which is being able to feel feelings and have command of feelings and be compassionate and everything, but still have the skill, the truthfulness, the clarity of a King of Swords energy. And she's attracting, by her emotional mastery, she's attracting her King of Swords to come in his truth. This isn't a king that's in the shadow traits, the icy and aloofness of this king, because he's in touch with his emotion by having integrated divine feminine. This is her perspective. As I create my emotional mastery, my King of Swords integrates his own. And the only thing that's blocking me from the Lovers is my own self-protection in my Queen of Swords energy. The Lovers can be mine as soon as I stop blocking myself with overthinking, analysis paralysis, controlling behaviors, etc. I could have that union if I can release my overprotective energy. That's what I need to walk away from that doesn't serve me. Protecting myself from what it is that I desire. All right. We're already at 48 minutes and I got a bunch of oracles, so I'm going to have to speed read. I mean, I guess I don't, but there's really no time limit. All right, let's take a look at divine masculine. You are in the shadow attributes right now of the scribe, which is altering facts or plagiarizing others' works. And the light attributes are preserving knowledge and information. So there's a couple messages here. Altering facts is where you're kind of going within and you're looking at the quote unquote facts between the two of you. And you're sort of making up a story that doesn't really reflect what actually happened. Your fears and anxieties are are causing you to take a look at the past with this shadowy view, and you need to come into the light and preserve knowledge and information. So it's like wanting you to write down the facts as they happened. And then look at them objectively without coloring them with your fears. There's an element here. There's also, I think, a command to write to divine feminine in some way. You're not writing to her, you're using others' words, plagiarizing others' work. You're using others' words to communicate with her, which causes an altering of the facts on her part as well, because she's not sure of your intentions. So you need to actually write to her, and you're kind of resisting this energy. You're in the light attributes of the queen, which is radiating the regal feminine and using your benevolent authority to protect others. And the shadow attributes that have been released are arrogant when authority is challenged, and controlling and demanding, which is interesting because the Empress in reverse is very much about releasing those shadow traits. So you are releasing the controlling and demanding energy of a distorted feminine energy, and you're in the light. You're also getting Avenger energy, which is desire to balance the scales of justice and righteousness on behalf of society and oneself. And there's that map of the world there he's wearing as this cape. And so I do sense there might be some travel that's about to take place. And it's swift because there's this intense desire to balance the scales of justice. There's this intense desire to bring balance to the union and this righteousness on behalf of this union. And so there will be some kind of travel in order to avenge the union, I feel. Wow. And that's coming up with an emphasis from Saint Mother Teresa for the activist. So to get the Avenger card and the activist card, Mother Teresa is supporting you in being an activist for this connection in your King of Wands energy, in following that passion and intensity from your heart space, avenging the wrongs that have happened between you. Because, I talk at length about how the third party obstacles that happen are really about our own, fears. And it's just an attracting of the right elements for us to be able to postpone our arriving at that place where we're with the person that we want to be with. I talk about that a lot. And it's true that you have a fear of something, and because your fear is there, the divine will give you an obstacle that matches it. But there's still an obstacle. It doesn't mean that the people that are on the sidelines are not problematic, that they didn't cause all these problems. They did. Like that, it's just that they matched you. You can't blame yourself or them, really, because also it's not about blame. It's about clarity. It's about, oh, okay, this is why this is happening. And if I can release my fears about this, then this third party energy is going to dissipate. It is just not going to be able, at a certain point, it can no longer be in your vibration. It just cannot, unless it shifts to match you. So to fight off those obstacles, there are real obstacles that require activism. In this particular instance, there might be a divine masculine energy that actually has experienced dangerous, or is afraid of experiencing dangerous repercussions from action that he's taking. Saint Cecilia is here with an emphasis on play music. So if you do play music, if that's something that you do, if you're a musician, go into that, create something, play music. If you're not a musician, you just have an appreciation for music, which I'm assuming because you're on Tuned in Tarot, and like the whole thing here is like matching songs with music, which reminds me, there were 2 Pretender songs today in my shuffle. And I thought it was so interesting because to get 2 Pretender songs, like I have 13 or 14,000 plus songs in my library when I hit shuffle. So it's just interesting to get one band twice like that in a row. But you can see those songs on my Instagram and my stories if you're curious about what songs came up during the when I shuffle the cards, that helps me set the theme basically of what I'm doing. Divine Masculine, for the last 3 or 4 days, every song that has come up for him has been about drinking. Like, this one was tequila, which is like, I drink tequila because I'm not with you right now. I don't know. The messages have just had it's just been a lot about that. So there's something about that addictive behavior for Divine Masculine. But anyway, play music. So pay attention to the messages you're getting from music, create music. I am becoming consciously aware of my inner being. We refer to that non-physical you as your inner being or your source. It is not important what you call that source of energy or life force, but it is important that you are consciously aware of when you are allowing a full connection to it and when you are restricting it in some way. And the way that you become aware of that is how you feel. If you feel good, you're connected to your higher self, your higher source. If you're feeling not great, you're very far from it. That's it. It's a pretty simple navigation system. A fiery climax approaches, Aries energy, and this is this is emphasized. A fiery climax approaches. This could be sexual energy. It could be battling energy. If there's activism going on, there might be some tumultuousness, some tower energy happening. Having gotten the star in reverse and then this card, show the world the real you, in reverse, I feel a really strong emphasis on that message, Divine Masculine, that the thing that's preventing you from working together with your Divine Feminine is that you are not showing the world the real you. You just are not. You're still hiding in the darkness. And you must come out and show the world the real you. You just don't have any other choice there, bro. All right. Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty, devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. So there's high priestess energy here, trusting your intuition, but it is also about the powerful divine feminines around you in your life or surrounding the divine couple, understanding that this energy is working on your behalf to bring the two of you together in union, and being able to call upon that sisterhood, divine feminine sisterhood, if she has a real sister or sisters in her community that you know of, that you would feel comfortable connecting with in order to be able to figure out how to come forward, you're encouraged to do so. We're getting a new card from Colette Baron Reed, the Spirit Animal Oracle, or not a new card, but a new interpretation, because we're looking at the protection message of this time of Eagle Spirit. The overall message is Spirit has your back. If you are walking awkwardly and feeling embarrassed, Eagle Spirit is here to tell you that is only because right now you are meant to fly. Soar over the troubles that have you feeling scared and alone. See the big picture, yet retain your eagle eye for the details that help you claim your wisdom and courage. Or perhaps you're making yourself small for the sake of getting others to accept you. Now is not the time to be vulnerable and dependent, for you have the wings to fly on your own, and you need to do that at this time. There is no need to huddle in a shelter or even to seek out a flock to support you. For Eagle Spirit says you have tremendous wisdom and courage within. Let it arise so that you might soar proudly with the angels serving as the wind beneath your wings. From these heights, you can make the best and most powerful choices for the highest good of all. There is no need to huddle in a shelter or even to seek out a flock to support you. That really stands out for me, Divine Masculine. I think that's also just about having the freedom to come forward and not feeling yet like he has that freedom to come forward. Divine Feminine. Oh my God. There's so many. Okay. Here in the light attributes. You're in the light attributes of the rescuer. This provides strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. And so you've released any of the shadow, which includes assuming that the rescued will reciprocate and keeping the rescued one needy. So you're no longer in any kind of shadow in regards to rescuing. You're really just performing acts of love with no expectation of reward. And you're really in the light of providing strength and support to others. And of course, as you're doing that, you have to remember to continue to do that for yourself, providing strength and support for yourself and performing acts of love with no expectation of reward from yourself. You just love yourself. Don't have to do anything to earn that. You just automatically are entitled to that love from yourself. You're in the light attributes of the thief energy, which is shedding light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. So you're really, really embracing that this is within you. There's no divine masculine that can come and steal your heart, because your own inner divine masculine is the one that owns your heart, and that can't be taken from you. Your ability to give yourself what you need means nobody can make you feel diminished. Saint Mary of Magdalene is with you to help you with issues of forgiveness. This is forgiveness of the self, forgiveness of divine masculine for anything that might be lingering there, forgiveness of others, just in general. If you're not sure what the forgiveness is about, she will help reveal that to you. You're also being protected right now by God energy, and you're in this energy of love, and this is emphasized too. So you're really being called to just be so loving and nurturing, and you're receiving all of this love from the divine. You're getting this card sleep in reverse, which is time to wake up, divine feminine. I think you've been sleeping on the job a little bit. Wake up. It's time to, stop hitting the snooze button, put on your big girl pants, go to your desk or your table or whatever place it is that you do your planning, strategizing, and work and work, work, work. Because you're never going to get what it is that you want if you're sleeping. There can also be an emphasis here that there have been sleep disturbances, and that can be energy related. We are in Mercury in retrograde until the 21st. I'm having headaches. I'm having weird. Yesterday, I had a sudden exhaustion, like in the middle of the day, and I laid down at 3 o'clock and was in this strange, like my head was pounding, and I don't get headaches very much. And I was like in this strange, like kind of awake, kind of asleep until 7 p.m. and then still went to bed at 11:30. So I was like wiped yesterday out of nowhere. So there could be energetic disturbances that are affecting sleep patterns. Keep that in mind. And if you're not feeling like you've been getting a lot of sleep, it could be a command to really give yourself more sleep. So if you've been sleeping a lot and not doing your thing, it's about waking up and getting shit done. It's also just about waking up to yourself too, not letting yourself sleep on these things, these truths that you hear. You come here to hear the reading and you're like, oh, I'm going to find out all about divine masculine. You listen to it and then you walk away. Maybe you don't even tune in that deeply to the divine feminine side because you don't care what you think about yourself, right? I've definitely experienced readings like that where I'm like, I don't care about divine feminine energy. I just want to know about divine masculine energy. And that's because you're separating that energy from yourself. You're not looking at it as something that's within you that requires balancing. You're looking at this external energy and you're associating my reading with that person. And that's not at all accurate. That person, I mean, they could be here, I suppose, if they follow my readings, but they didn't get a personal reading with me so that I could be like, oh, let me look at your energy and ask your guides to communicate with mine so that we can figure out what your energy is like. They didn't give me that permission. So I'm not reading their energy. You're giving me permission by arriving here to take a look at the energy that's surrounding you. If it's resonating, I'm tapping into the energy that you share. But it's yours. So when there's things that need to be done and you're like, divine masculine needs to do this, he needs to write to me. He needs to like get over his fears. Oh my God, like get over your own. Get over your own fears. Write down your own facts, sweetie, right? So there's all of that embedded in this card. There's a lot of messages there. The most powerful law in the universe. Every thought vibrates, every thought radiates a signal, and every thought attracts a matching signal back. We call that process the law of attraction. That which is like unto itself is drawn. This came out yesterday, and it's back again for divine feminine. So it's really divine feminine. Trust in the law of attraction. Do you distrust the law of gravity? Are you like, I don't think gravity is real? No. You're pretty confident there's gravity. You're pretty confident that when people go to the moon, apparently there's less gravity and then they float all over the fucking place. Like you're completely accepting of that because you've seen this evidence of it or whatever. And because there's been, men with white lab coats and glasses and ties to the Nazi party telling you that it's real. Okay? Cool. For some reason we believe them. This is real. This is real. This is a law, just like gravity. Gravity works, the law of attraction works. So you really need to believe in it. If you believed in it, Divine Feminine, completely. If you were like, the law of attraction is like the law of gravity. But you don't jump out your window testing the law of gravity. You're not like, let me see. I don't know if gravity is real or not. I'm just gonna try. I'm just gonna give this a real. Go up to the top of my building and just jump off, see if I float away into outer space. You believe the law of gravity, so your ass is gonna fall down on the ground. You're gonna be dead or severely wounded, depending on how many stories you jump. You don't play with the law of gravity like that. So why are you playing with the law of attraction though? Just because there's not dudes with lab coats like on TV every day? I mean, first of all, that doesn't even happen with gravity anymore. We've accepted it since whatever century it was determined. Work through your fears. It's your fears that are keeping you from believing in this law of attraction. You're afraid, first of all, to face that you're attracting what you don't want. You're like, no, I need to blame everyone outside of me for that. Nope. It's on you. You are attracting energy to you based on your point of attraction. You can change the energy you attract if you change the energy inside of yourself. This moment, right now, in this time, in your hanged man energy, learning to walk away from what doesn't serve you. You are in a time of healing. Divine Masculine is in a time of healing. What lights you up? This is star energy. Again. That star on the edge of the water there, pouring the unconscious into the material. What lights you up? Make sure you're letting yourself shine. Play. Have more fun. Be more lighthearted. Be more in your 3 of Cups energy. Don't be so serious. This isn't that serious. Like it feels like it, but it's really not. You're playing the simulation. You put on The Sims and you're playing it. It's supposed to be fun. You're birthing a new age, birthing new creations, and dreaming a new world into being. And that, let me tell you from personal experience, giving birth, pretty uncomfortable. That's not comfortable. And you know what? You don't know what's going to happen. You have an assumption about everything going well, but you have a lot of fear because you don't know what's going to happen, because people die during childbirth and babies, are fragile, and it's an extremely difficult, trying process. And so it's filled with fear and anxiety and the unknown and a lot of discomfort. And that's what we're in right now. And this discomfort with this uncertainty, you have to embrace. You just have to embrace that the best possible outcome is going to happen. You're getting the message of starfish spirit, which is open to infinite possibility. Stretched out on the beach, the starfish opens fully to the rays of the sun, to the power of potential. As you look out toward the horizon, do you open up to infinite possibility? Spirit is the source of opportunities beyond your wildest imagination and ensures endless possibilities are available. At this time, starfish spirit urges you to stretch past the limits of your everyday perception and comfort zone, to dream of bigger things and imagine with even greater hope and faith. For miraculous potential is shining down on you. Feel it, bask in it, and open yourself to be filled with inspiration. This is a very fortunate sign that starfish spirit has come to remind you of your infinite potential. So open wide, Divine Feminine. And how do you birth a new creation? You have to open. Open. So, Divine Feminine, you are in this energy. And this is, again, another star card energy, too. We've got the star here. We've got the star here. We've got the star here. We've got it. Oh, my Lanta. We've got it here. And I know there's one more. And we got it here. This is about hope. It's about wish fulfillment. It's about healing. It's about the bringing in of potential, right? It's about believing. It's about wishing on a star. It's about the wish coming true. And it's about shining a light on who you are, because as you become your authentic self, as you open yourself up to authenticity and shine and share who you are with the rest of the world, you are bringing your unconscious desires into the 3D. It's very powerful energy. So not surprised, honestly, that we saw it that many times. All right, let's take a look at the bottom of the deck for both of you. So these are the final messages for the two of you. You are in the light attributes of trickster energy, which is transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behaviors. So y'all are being a little playful with each other. You're not acting predictably towards one another because of the new energy, right? That has happened because of the shift and the change in the dynamic between you. There's no longer a predictability. You don't know what's going to happen. That's this uncertainty. I don't know, right? And divine masculine has it too. Question mark. We're not acting like we always act. And since we're not acting like we're always acting like we don't know what could happen. You are very open. You're transcending stuffiness, convention, and predictability in your own relationship, creating a new opportunity. Then we have the Holy Spirit. I never experienced this card without the profound feeling, which comes from my Catholic background, of the reverence that I feel for the Holy Spirit, which is this aspect of the divine that descends upon the earth and permeates everything with peace and fire, like the fire of devotion and connection. So the Holy Spirit is here, and it was emphasized, descending upon you, bringing peace into this connection. The law of attraction comments I just made, a consistent formula brings me consistent results. You're starting to trust, just like the law of gravity, that the law of attraction is consistently giving you the same results. If you drop something from your hand, it falls to the ground. If you think about something that you want while you're afraid of it, it falls to the ground. If you think about something that you want and believe you can have it, you can have it. You can attract it to you. You are good enough, both of you. Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. So the feeling that you're alone or that you're out here, you're all out here though, you are really out here though by yourself. No, you are part of a much larger plan. Descendants from others' desires that have seen fulfillment in your generation. This is not something you're doing on your own, and you have all the support of your ancestors behind you. We're getting whale spirit. Trust the great mystery. And we're getting the protection message today, which is certainty is not offered to you right now. Wow. We started out with this card, discomfort with uncertainty. Well, we started out divine feminine side with this card, discomfort with uncertainty. And we're finishing this reading with certainty is not offered to you right now. You are being asked to trust the process of co-creation. Whale spirit reminds you that your primary reality is not that of the material world, but that of the realm of spirit. from which the essence of your dreams and desires takes shape before arriving as a specific form. You must trust absolutely that what will come will be for the highest good. Stay in your present moment awareness and allow the hidden realms to hold your intentions safely until it is time for them to manifest in the realm of form. Let go, for you will not be left behind. Some things take longer than others to arrive. Wow. Oh, wow. I don't like that message. My ego doesn't like that message because I want certainty and I want this to arrive now and I don't want it to take a long time. But it's because my ego feels that I need that to feel complete. There's still a part of me that's like, nope, I need it. Confusing wanting and needing. I didn't need a green satin robe. I wanted it. I knew that I was going to be whole without it. I just pulled Venus again. I'm going to do it again because Venus is the focus for February for me and my coven, and we're having our meeting in about 40 minutes because we're meeting weekly. And so I'm going to leave Venus today, even though she was here yesterday. So we're going to close this reading now with this energy, this goddess energy that we're working to balance in ourselves, because we have repressed, suppressed, oppressed, the divine feminine. And we need to bring her into balance. No matter what our gender is, it doesn't matter. It's energy, and it's releasing shame associated with feelings, emotions, sexuality, nurturing, all of those kinds of things. You can use any divine feminine energy that you like for the practice. You put 2 hands over your heart, and for 15 minutes at some point today, you're repeating as a mantra, my heart is the heart of the goddess, and then visualizing any energy at all. If you would like to, you can visualize Venus. I pull a card to try to get us to a sense of how many different permutations of the divine feminine there have been, and the constants that exist within the light and shadow energy of that power. Venus is the Roman goddess of grace and love, called Aphrodite by the Greeks. She evolved from an early Italian nature goddess, a bringer of spring blooms and vines, a goddess of growth and the beauty of nature. The goddess of desire, Venus was the irresistible personification of both physical and spiritual love. She gave her name to the second planet of dawn and dusk, as did her sister goddesses Inanna, Sumeria, and Ishtar from Babylonia. The story of Venus's birth tells how she arose naked from the sea, the source of all life, primordial creation, and a symbol of both the collective unconscious and eternity. It is a wonderful image for the emergence of a young woman into her full femininity. Venus is a striking affirmation of the love of beauty and the pleasure of the senses. Risen from the sea, she is a guide through both the stormy and calm waters of our physical desires and emotions. This was a long one today. I'm glad I started her early. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you got a lot from the messages. I do feel we're at an interesting place right now of healing. There is the separation for some with a physical counterpart. For others, this is just about trying to get into the place where you've released enough limiting beliefs to be able to manifest the job or the thing that you're trying to call in. But ultimately, I see 2 individuals that are coming into their power and achieved a lot of clarity about what they want. And they're just learning to be uncomfortable with the unknown, because as they're releasing their fears, that causes them to release the needs to control. And when you're not in control, you have to be really comfortable with not knowing what is going to happen and living in that uncertainty for the moment, and just allowing that some things take longer to come to fruition, but they're worth the wait. So that's the overall message I'm getting today. Please click like, share, subscribe, the notification button so you know when I'm going live, or you can follow me on Instagram at Tuned In Tarot. I post a story of the shuffle and a time lapse shuffle plus the songs that played, so you can also kind of get a sense of what the energy is like in terms of the messages from the songs before coming to the reading. So follow me on Instagram to know when I'm going live as well. Do I have any other announcements? Hey, I still didn't do the lovers playlist. Ow! I'm gonna try actually to ask my team member to do it for me today, because I have proven to myself that it is not going to get done, and I am embracing that. But I would really like to start to give free readings from that list this week and pull the next card for the next group of songs so that you could win a free reading from myself, an hour-long personal video chat or pre-recorded, whatever you prefer, specific to you and your energy. I think that's everything. All right, take care. Have a great day today, and I shall see you tomorrow here on Tuned In Tarot. Bye.